So hope you everyone downloaded JMeter. Have you? JMeter. So this is how you need to download the JMeter. What is the prerequisite for JMeter download? JDK. We need to download JDK 8 or more than that. And these are the steps of installation. After downloading JDK, what you need to do? You need to copy this Java bin path. Go to program files, Java, JDK, bin. Copy this and you need to set up the environment variables. What are environment variables? Under home, select, you search for environment variables and this will open, and click on environment variables. Here you need to set up Java home. Initially you don't find this Java home. You need to click on a new and set up Java underscore home, and you need to give the Java path here. What is our Java path here? Program files, Java, JDK, and bin. Okay, this is the path, and you need to give this path here, right? So I already gave it. Okay, and what else you need to set? You need to set a path. You already see this path. This path will be there now also in your systems. You just need to double click on this and you need to click on a new, and again you need to give the path here. Okay, I'm not giving now. Okay, Java home. First of all, Java home until this JDK only we need to give Java home. We should not give bin, Java home. Okay, and Java path we need to give until bin. See, bin we need to include here. That's it. Okay, these two things you need to do before installing JMeter. Okay, and after that, go to this page and install your JMeter and download your JMeter. This is your latest JMeter version 5.5, and see the prerequisite for this is Java 8 or plus 8 plus version. Okay, so download this .zip version. Okay, download this one, and I have already downloaded it. This is my Apache JMeter, and go inside, go to the bin folder, and here you will find so here you need to go to the JMeter bin folder, and from there you need to double click on JMeter Windows batch file. Okay, Windows batch file. Search here. If you don't find it, just search here. That's it. JMeter.dat. Okay, you will get it. So this is my JMeter UI. So here what you'll find, you'll see test plan, something called test plan. Test plan is nothing but it is a test suite where all your scripts will be there. Under this test plan, you need to include all your scripts. When I say scripts, what you need to include here? Your fund transfer, bill payment, all that, right? Fund transfer, okay, bill payment, account creation, insurance. So whichever scenarios you are including as part of performance test, you need to include here. So that is what is test plan. Under test plan, you will have all your scripts, right? So how do you add all your scripts? So you have something called thread groups. See, thread group. Thread group is nothing but where you include your script. Okay, so you can add any number of thread groups here like this. Right, you just copy, again click on the test plan and paste. Okay, you can consider this thread group as fund transfer. We can consider this thread group as bill payment. We can consider this thread group as account creation. Consider this as insurance, like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. So whatever scripts you are recording or doing as part of load test or performance test, you need to include that in your thread group, right? So what is thread group? It is similar to test case, which has multiple steps inside it. Okay, it is similar to test case, which has multiple steps inside it. So fund transfer has multiple steps. What do you have in fund transfer? Launch, login. After that, you will click on from account to account. You will click on next. OTP will come. You will submit, and fund transfer will be done successfully. And after that, log out. So like that, you will have steps, right? And we can run one script under one thread group. So we can run one script under one thread group. So that is why you can. I have included one script only here. Fund transfer, one script, one script. So all these are different scripts. So under test plan, you have different thread groups. So thread group is nothing but a test case, right? But what is a thread? Threads are number of virtual users that you should provide under the thread. Threads are virtual users which you should provide under the thread group. So I have included thread groups here. But what are threads? Threads are nothing but these users. So you need to run your load tests with number of users, right? As part of NFR requirements, you will get with how many users you need to run the test, right? For example, if I am running fund transfer with 200, you need to give 200 a year, right? Bill payment 150, you need to give 150. Account creation 100, you need to give 100. Like that. Insurance is 75. Like that, as part of your user requirements, right? This is 400. Okay, because most of the users will come and check their balance, right? They don't do anything, they check their balance. So you might see most of the users here. Okay, so how do you give the users here? Users in JMeter are nothing but threads. Threads are nothing but users. So number of threads you need to increase here. You need to give based on your requirement. Okay. And what is this ramp up? If you run your scripts like this, if you run your test like this, as I said earlier, if you run your test like this, 200 users will run in 1 second. And here 150 users will run within 1 second. Here 100 users will run within 1 second, and 75 users will run in 1 second, and here 400 users will run in 1 second. Total, maybe more than 1000 users are running within 1 second, which is not acceptable, right? If you are trying to run 1000 or more than 1000 users, for that matter, even 100 users within 1 second, your application will crash. You should never run. In reality, also, no one will log in or no one will click on the same button at the same time. 100 users won't click on the same button at the same time, right? They'll do different activities. If I am doing fund transfer right now, other person will just check account balance. Some other person will do bill payment. Everyone will not do the same transaction at same time, right? So the same way, you should not click on one button at the same time. You should not log in or you should not enter to your application with 1000 users at the same time. So you have to give here something called ramp up. Okay, you should ramp up the users slowly. So users should come into the application slowly. Okay, that is why you have to give ramp up here. So while you are running this fund transfer with 200 users, you should give ramp up here. That means ramp up means one user should log into the application within 3 seconds. One user every 3 seconds. If that is your ramp up, then when you're running with 200 users, what will be your ramp up? 600, right? If For 200 users, 600 seconds is your ramp up. That means every user will take 3 seconds, right? The same way you need to give for each and everything, right? Here also you need to give 450. Okay, to 235, 225. Okay, and here 1200, right? Like that you need to give, so that every user will take 3 seconds. But even now also, how many thread groups you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thread groups. So here one user is taking 3 seconds to ramp up, right? And here also first user is taking 3 seconds. Here also first user is taking 3 seconds. Here also first user 3 seconds. Here also first user 3 seconds. That means when you start your test, total 5 users will take 3 seconds time to ramp up, right? At the same time again. Because here also first user will log in. Here also first user will log in at same time. So how, if you are having 10 thread groups, for example, 10 users will log in at the same time. After that, it will wait for again 3 seconds. Again, 10 users will log in at same time, right? Even that is also not acceptable, because there 10 users are taking 3 seconds time. Like 10 users are logging in at same time, right? Here, what is happening? There are 5 thread groups. That means 5 users are ramping up or logging in at the same time. Even that is not acceptable. So what you need to give? You need to give some delay between every thread group. So how much time this ramp up took? Total ramp up 600 seconds. So you give this a delay here. You have to give this delay here, startup delay. I will give 600 here. So what will happen? Once this ramp up is completed, this ramp up will start. Because I gave 600 delay. How much time this ramp up will take? 600. After that, this ramp up will start. And again, for account creation also, I have to give delay. How much delay I need to give? Correct. 1050 I need to give. Right? Because this includes this ramp up and this ramp up. So that I need to give. So these kinds of delays, if you give, so after that, each user will take 3 seconds time to load. Slowly it will ramp up. That's how you need to design your actual load test. Okay. And after that, you have this. Okay. And remaining things I'll tell you when I go to this thread group. Okay. For now, I'll explain you. I've explained you about thread, and I'll explain you about listener now. So before that, I'll tell you what is a sampler. So you have added thread group, but where is the script? You should have script like that. For fund transfer, what you will do? You'll do login, launch, login from account to account and all that. So for that, you need to have transactions inside that, right? You can add something called transaction controllers. So these are transaction controllers. So this you can consider as launch, and this you can consider as login, and this you can consider as from to account and click next, right? And this you can consider as enter amount and submit. This accept OTP and submit. And this as once it is successfully submitted, what is your next step? Logout, right? So these are the transactions which you will have, right? Launch, login, click next, submit, accept OTP and submit and logout. So how do you give that? Under transaction controllers. So you'll have test plan. Under your test plan, you have several thread groups. Each thread group can be considered as one single test case. So under each thread group, what you will have? Your transactions. So for that, what I have added? I have added transaction. Under logic controllers, I have added transaction controllers, right? So you have launch, login, and all that. but still your script is not there. I have just added transactions controllers. That's it. So under these controllers, your script should be there, right? So I will add something called sampler. So here is where your script will be there, right? So this is my sampler. This is my sampler for login, and this is my sampler for click next and all that, right? And what is the sampler? What is the sampler? For example, I'll give performance testing practice.com. Okay, I am clicking on developer tools. You know developer tools? Okay. So network. See, I am just refreshing this page. This is my launch screen, right? I'm just refreshing this page. See how many requests came after refreshing? How many requests came? Many requests, right? So these are called your requests, whatever you are sending to the server, and you are sending these requests. See, if I'll reload this again. See, I'll clear and again I'm reloading. How it came. Okay. So these are called your requests. So you need to have the same kind of requests in your launch. So that for that you need to have your sampler. So under your sampler you have many requests, right? Since we are doing this for a web application, we need to add HTTP request, right? My HTTP request, and so this is my first URL, right? Performance testing practice.com launch. Okay. What is the website name? HTTPS performance testing practice.com. Okay, I copied it, gave it here. But here at protocol, what you need to go? HTTP, yes, and remove this. And at server name, I just gave performance testing practice.com. That's it. If you run your script, it will be done. See, I'm removing the remaining thread groups. I'm removing these things also. Let us test only for launch screen. Okay. No, so now if I am running, what you will see, you don't see anything because it and for now I'm just giving one user. Okay. See, I ran it and you are not seeing anything, right? Because where do you see the results? For seeing the results also, you need to add one more element that is called listener. So what did we talk about? I explained you about test plan, thread group, transaction controller, and under transaction controller we have sampler. This is called request, right? So but for viewing the result, what you need to have? Something called listener, right? I'll just right click on the thread group. I'm going to listener and I'm adding one listener which is called view results tree. Let us run now.
Get remove the slash after the .com.
Okay. This might not be working due to different reason. I'll tell you that. But let us try one more website. Okay. Which is this. Okay. Let us try this. Okay. This is HTTPS, right? This is just HTTP, right? I'm just giving HTTP here. So this is my URL. And what is my path here? Online is my path, right? And I'm just giving here online. Okay. I'm just removing this and okay, there is some space, right? This is how you need to check actually. So it is not working. So what did you do? I went to the request actually. You have three things here. Anyway, I'll explain you about this view results tree in detail when I go to that element. But how do you check this? It is failing actually. It is failing with some illegal character in authority or something. That means when you see this illegal character or something, there is some problem with your code or something, like whatever you wrote, whatever you gave here with this URL or something, right? So there is some space here, right? I just removed it and run it. Right? It worked, right? So second it. Yeah. See? This is the page which we are trying for, right? Is this the page? See? This is the page which we need and we got that page, right? Okay. So this is how you need to do your basic scripting in JMeter. Okay. But let us go to some advanced level. So there is one more URL. You can try different URLs. I hope you tried already. Yeah, it is working, right?
But we got a different look and feel. Sir.
Sorry?
We got, if you open the original ring, you will display with the colors with user friendly. But when we tried with here, it is not displaying as it is.
Don't worry about colors, okay?
No, I mean, not about colors. We have to view the application as it is, right? Whatever we are
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. The text should match at least. The text should match. See here, the page matched exactly, yes. But it is not like you will not get the same things for all websites, right?
Okay. Okay.
What you need to understand is if the text is matching or not. Whatever you are seeing here, the text and all, it is match. For example, I'm changing to a different website now, HTTPS website. Okay, let us see if it is coming or not.
I think we have to remove slash, right, in the script.
Don't think. I don't think we need. Yeah, see here, I got the page. Automation.
Surely it's looking for me also.
That's okay. This is the right page. Don't worry. This is the right page because yeah, this is the right page. Don't worry about that. See, your page will not look as it is like how you are seeing in the actual browser, but the text and all should match. Okay, this is the page you are seeing. See, all these will come. Big page with many elements, fake landing page, fake pricing and all that. See, all these are coming, right? So that's how you need to identify that if you are getting the right page or not, right? You are getting the right page. So don't worry about the colors and all. Colors and all won't come every time, right? So this is how you need to launch your pages. But if you are doing your testing for a banking, for example, you are doing your testing for a banking application in your project, right? For example, it's an ICICI Bank. Like there you will have fund transfer, bill payment, account creation, and all that, right? And there for fund transfer, you have different steps: launch, login, from account to account, and all that will be there, right? If you start writing your scripts manually like this, it will take a lot of time, right? So that is why you have something called recording option in Generator. So by recording that, you can record your script automatically, so that these requests, these samplers will come automatically. You don't need to right click and add your samplers like this, like how I did now. You don't need to do that. So you have this recording option. So let me tell you that how that works. So right click again on test plan and go to non-test elements, and there you will have HTTPS test script recorder. Okay. So here I am just removing this actually. So for recording, you should have thread group. So you have thread group already, and under thread group, you should have one controller. Either it can be transaction controller or recording controller, anything, that is fine. So I'm adding a recording controller. I'll talk about these controllers separate class in detail. So I've added recording controller. Okay. See, by default, your HTTPS test script recorder will use your recording controller. So once I start recording, all your samplers should come automatically here. Okay. Right. So now, what is the port number here? 8888, right? So the only rule here is, oh, there is no Firefox. Let me download Firefox. While I'm installing it, I'll explain you. Okay. Okay, fine. So HTTPS test script recorder is used for recording the scripts. But how do you record the scripts? By using your browser, right? By using your Firefox, or by using your Chrome, or by using your Internet Explorer, you'll record your scripts. So I will open my Firefox browser. And what is our website here? This is my website. Test if your website is opening successfully or not first. It is opening, right? So what you need to do is, in your Firefox, go to the proxy settings. Under settings, search for proxy. Okay. And here this browser is using your system proxy automatically. That means it is connecting directly to the it is connecting directly to your internet, right? So I will remove this system proxy. I'll give manual proxy. I will give here local host and 8888 port, right? So if I give like this, so this is matching now with this port, right? So if I start recording, then only this record will work. If I don't give these settings, you will not record your script Firefox, right? So before recording your script, you need to do your proxy settings like this, right? If you leave this like this as a system proxy, it won't work. Okay. So you need to do this proxy settings. And which website are we recording? HTTPS website. So always select this. Whether it is a HTTP website or HTTPS website, you have to select this, so that this will be applicable for HTTPS protocols also. If you don't select this, that we cannot record that HTTPS websites. Okay. So always check this. And what is localhost? Localhost is my system. It's my system, and the port is 8888 So you are giving this proxy, whatever port is there in JMeter, you are giving the same port in the browser also. Okay, so you gave that. Now open that performancetestingpractice.com. It won't work. See, it will load for some time. It will give error because you did not started recording. That is why it is giving this issue, right? Now start your recording. Okay, accept this. Fine. Okay, so you got this little bar where it is asking for transaction name, right? This is for identification purpose. If you start recording, you will start recording with launch page, login page, and after that you will do different transactions. So your requests will flow, will come here, will come and fall into this recording controller. So you have to identify which request is belongs to launch, which request belong to login, which request belong to sign in, which request belong to fund transfer, and all that you need to identify, right? For that identification purpose, you need to give this transaction name, right? First one, you are trying to launch the application, right? So give launch here and go here, and now refresh the screen. So it came as potential security warning, and go to advanced, and accept the risk. See, your page came successfully. And is it recording? Go here and check. See, till now you didn't see this tree view. There is a small lock icon here. Just click there. See how it recorded everything. Your launch requests got recorded automatically, right? So everything belongs to launch, right? And what is your next step? Login, right? So what is your next step? Login. So I'll say login. You click on login. So I have to get this particular page, sign in page. Okay, fine. What is my next step? I need to give user ID, password, and actually sign in. So I will enter it as sign in. Okay, login is just this page will come, sign in. Actual, after giving user ID, password, the home screen will come. Okay, so I'm giving sign in and giving user ID. Okay, and finally I will log out. Okay, now I will stop my recording and go here. See how many got recorded. There are many requests which got recorded, right? There are many requests are there, but are these requests related to your application? Huh? Correct. See the server name. What it is saying? Detect portal.firefox, and our website is performance testing practice. So these are not related to our website, right? So,
sir,
yes.
One question.
Yes.
In companies, generally the proxy is already configured, right?
Correct.
If we say local host,
Correct.
can we proceed with the, or
No,
do you have to take any precautions?
We cannot. See, there is one more thing what you need to do in your companies. I will cover that as a different topic.
Okay.
I will cover that as a different topic. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for that, under system, there is something called system properties in JMeter. There you need to give your company proxy IP address and company proxy port.
Okay.
Okay. After that only it will work.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. So all these samplers which got recorded are not related to your application, right? All this. but it is related to your Firefox. So this will happen in your real-time projects also. When you are doing performance testing for your company or for any of your banks, this will frequently happen. So what you need to do, you need to delete these things. Whatever are not related to your application, you need to delete. But if you start deleting these things, you will end up with nowhere actually, because this is a small script. Just log in and log out. I did just log in and log out. But in your actual projects, you will do fund transfers, bill payments and all. And if it is recording these external URLs like this, your script will be very, very long, and you have to manually delete all the unnecessary requests with wrong URLs. Okay. Why these URLs are recording? These are some, I mean, this, since you are recording in Firefox, these are actually recording your Firefox portal related requests also. So these are not required for you. You can delete it, but if you start deleting it, it is going to take a lot of time. So what you need to do is, for the JMeter, you have filters. While recording itself, you can filter these URLs. Okay. So how do you need to filter those? How are you recording it? In HTTPS REST script recorder, right? So here only you have something called request filter. I will tell you, if you are recording in Firefox, only these requests will come. Detect portal.firefox.com. Okay. See, every request is related to detect portal.firefox.com only, right? All these are again performancetestingpractice.com. Fine. See, detect portal.firefox.com. So this URL is not changing, right? So this is what your URL is. So you need to filter this particular URL. This is not needed for you. And also there are few image files which you need to filter, right? What is your main URL here? Tell me your main this one, right? And at login, after clicking on, okay, 1 second. So see these URLs, CSS files. These are also related to your application only. But what these URLs are called? These URLs are called non-HTTP resources, non-HTML resources. Okay, because CSS files, JS files, JPG files, PNG files, these are called image files. These are called image files of your application. Okay. When you open a particular website, there are many images like this, right? So those requests are these things: CSS files, cascading style sheets, JS files, PNG files. These are called non-HTML resources. You don't need those also. Your main focus must only be your primary URLs. What are your primary URLs? Launch, login, sign in, where you are giving user ID and password, and log out. So these 4 requests are your primary URLs. The remaining URLs, you need to filter those. How are you going to filter those? By clicking here on request filtering. Okay. By clicking here on request filtering, you can include, you have 2 things here: include URL patterns and exclude URL patterns. Our target is to exclude, right? Because you are filtering those. So if you click on add suggested excludes here, let me click here. See, it is excluding automatically these CSS files, JS files, okay, JPG files, PNG files, and all that. So these requests will not come now. PNG, JPG, CSS, okay. These requests will not come now because you have excluded these now. Okay? So your non-HTML resources got excluded with this. What else you need to exclude? You need to exclude this one, right? This is not at exclude. You need to exclude this. So for that, add. Okay. And what you need to exclude? This particular URL, right? I will tell you what I'm writing. So Firefox.com. Okay. So this is called a regular expression. So this is a different topic in altogether in JMeter. I will explain you how we need to do this regular expressions in JMeter. By using this regular expression, I am excluding this Firefox related URLs here. See what I wrote, dot star. Okay, let me write it in a notepad here. I wrote something like this. So this dot star indicates any, whatever comes before dot, it should consider that. What came before dot here? Detect portal. So sometimes instead of detect for portal, it will you will see canonical. You don't know what is that. Canonical dot firefox.com. Sometimes you will see something dot firefox.com. This firefox.com is a common thing, but before that these things might change. So all these things you need to filter. But if you give only detect portal.firefox.com in your filter, it will filter this first URL, fine, but it won't filter your second URL. It won't filter your third URL, because these are different things again, canonical, and these things are changing. So for that, what you need to give is dot star. This dot star will take anything. It will take this. It will take this. It will take detect portal. It will take anything before this dot. Right? That is why I mentioned dot star. This will take any. This indicates anything. Right? Dot star. Dot star. Okay. Just forget about this slash. Okay. So you know what is dot star now, right? It will take anything. Dot, and dot is this one, right? Dot firefox.com. Until this point you are clear, right? And after that also you can see few paths and all here, right? So for example, see detect portal.firefox.com. After that you have canonical.html, right? Fine. Let us go to some other URL. See detect portal.firefox.com, and here what you have in the path, success.txt. Here success.txt. Okay, sometimes you are getting canonical.html. So even your path is also changing. Sometimes you are getting canonical.html. Sometimes you are getting success.txt. Sometimes you will get something else. Okay, you will get something else in the path. Okay, so these things are also changing. Your left thing is changing and your right thing is changing. The common thing is firefox.com. That is why .firefox.com, I did not change anything here. So I gave dot star here to the left thing, and again to the right thing I am again giving dot star. So things which are changing, I gave dot star, right? But wherever you see dot, you need to give an escape expression. So there you are seeing dot here. Here where you are seeing dot in these URLs, dot firefox.com. Two dots are there. So I'm just giving. Wherever you are seeing dot, you have to give the escape sequence. And in detail, I'll tell you when I go to the regular expressions. Till this, you just try to understand how I'm trying to filter this. So this is my regular expression to filter the firefox.com URL. So by giving this in my request, by giving this in this exclude filters, this will filter all kinds of firefox.com related URLs. So whatever it sees related to firefox.com, if it's a detect portal, doesn't matter. Canonical doesn't matter. Whatever it sees before that doesn't matter. Wherever it says firefox.com, it will filter the entire URL, including the path and everything, right? So let's try to record this now. So we included two filters here. One filter is our firefox.com filter, and another filter is our non-HTML resource, right? Okay. For example, if you are recording in Google, like Chrome, if you are recording in Chrome browser, what you need to give? That's it. Then, if you are recording in Chrome browser, Firefox browser, you are recording. Since you are recording in Firefox browser, you are seeing Firefox related URLs. If you are recording Chrome, you will see Google related URLs, right? So you need to filter those, right? See, once you first of all, what you need to do is you don't give any exclude patterns. Just record your script first initially. So then only you will see what unnecessary URLs are recording in your script. Based on that, you need to give your filters next. Yeah. If it is Internet Explorer, some other things will record. So you need to identify those URLs and write your regular expressions like this related to that. Like how I wrote for Firefox.com. You need to write the same thing for Google or Internet Explorer based on the URLs which you are getting. Based on those patterns, you need to write this expression, right? And give those filtering here. Okay. Now I will remove all this and let me record once again. So now I will start my recording again, but now I added the filters. So let's see how it will record now. My first page is launch. My launch. And my second page is login. Okay, this is my login. And my third page is sign in. Next, log out, right? See, look at my script now. See how short it is. All my unnecessary URLs, non-HTML resources, JPG files, CSS files, JS files, something related to Firefox, Google, everything got filtered. Now you got the requests which are necessary for you. Okay, these are the requests which you need. So based on this, you need to go ahead and test your application, right? See, login, sign in. This is your sign in. And till this point, it is sign in and finally log off, right? Then how you need to do from next? I mean, what is your next step? Under thread group, what we gave previously? These are samplers. Samplers got recorded automatically. You don't need to record again, right? What you need to include under a thread group? Transaction controllers, right? So this is recording controller. This is just for recording purpose. Okay, just move everything or just add your transaction controllers inside this. How many transaction controllers you need? How many steps you have? Launch, login, sign in, log out. You need 4 transaction controllers. Add 4 transaction controllers and launch should be inside this transaction controller. Login should be inside this transaction controller. So directly I'm dragging and dropping there, right? Sign in should be inside this transaction controller. Okay. See, this is sign in lo record ayindi, but this path indicates logout. So this must be related to logout. Okay. So I am dragging this and dropping to logout. So rename this launch, my first transaction. My second transaction is login. My third transaction is sign in. And my fourth transaction is logout, right? So I can happily remove this, delete this recording controller now. So what you have under a thread group, you have launch, login, sign in, and logout. Under each transaction controller, what you have? Your samplers. Okay, HTTP samplers. These are your requests. And you got your requests, whatever are needed for you. Remaining requests filtered using this filters, right? That is how you need to record your script. So this is one type of recording, by recording your script using HTTPS test script recorder. So you have many interview questions in this class. The first thing is, how do you record your script? is one interview question using HTTPS test script recorder. So when you are getting many URLs, unnecessary URLs, how are you going to filter those? By using request filtering, by clicking on add suggested excludes, you can filter your non-HTML resources which are not necessary for you, right? That is one way of excluding. Another thing what you need to exclude is the browser related URLs which are not necessary for you. Using this small regular expressions, you can remove them. That's how you can remove that. That is one review question which you will get. And what are different elements till now? What you learned about test plan, thread group, and transaction controller, and recording controller is used for recording. Transaction controllers is used to what is the use of transaction controller? What is the use of a controller? Controller will group your samplers. Yeah, this is grouping your sampler, right? And what else you learned? These are called samplers, right? There are many samplers. One type of sampler is your HTTP request, right? Fine. So till this point, it is clear, right? So tomorrow I'll explain you what are the other ways to record yours and what is this certificate. Once you download, if you go to the bin folder, you don't see this certificate. Don't see the certificate. You can go to your bin folder. After downloading your JMeter freshly, go to your bin folder. You don't see this root CS certificate. But how come this is there in my laptop? This will come once I start recording my script for the first time. First time, if I start recording in my script with HTTPS URL, my application is HTTPS URL, right? You'll see this root certificate. This URL I can record successfully. I'm able to record this successfully. But in your companies, you might see challenges in recording. You might see some challenges in recording. Few applications might not record. Few applications might not record properly. That time, what you need to do, you need to install this root certificate. That is why this certificate will come automatically. Once you record your script, it will come automatically. So whenever you are recording a script for the first time, if you are not able to record, if your page is not launching even during recording, don't worry. Come back and install the certificate. This certificate installation in Chrome browser, this certificate installation for Firefox browser and all, I'll explain you tomorrow how to install this certificate. Okay. Again, I'm saying for our application, it is working, but in your projects, for your banking applications, it might not work. Then what you need to do is install this root certificate. Okay. Install this root certificate. Again, try recording. Okay. If it is still not recording, it is something related to proxy, which I will cover in my future sessions. Maybe after a couple of weeks, I'll cover. Okay. Because one of our friends asked me a doubt related to company proxy. Who is that? GV Rohan.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That is a good question. See, I am going to cover that in other class. I'm not going to cover that now, but I'll just give you a background of that. See, now I'm connecting directly to the internet, right? How I'm getting my applications and all, like say, select proxy. What are the proxy settings of my laptop? Use system proxy settings. So if I'm giving this, I'm able to access everything, Google and all that, right? I'm able to access everything by using system proxy. But in your companies, that is not the case. That is not the case in your companies. So since this is the laptop which is connecting directly to my router or internet, these are the settings which I am using. But in your companies, there are many employees. There are many employees and there are security constraints over there. So they will not give you direct access to internet. There is a proxy server in between. There is a proxy server or firewall in between, right? Everyone will connect to that proxy server. So your companies have their own proxy. So they might be having some proxy related IP address or something like that, like this 10.10.192.168 or something like this, proxy related port 8080 or something. Okay. Through this only you can connect to your application or you can connect to internet in your companies. So if this is the case, how do you record? If this is the case, how did I record it till now? By taking this and making this local host and giving 8888 I recorded. If you do the same thing in your company by removing this proxy, it won't work. Because your company itself is working through this proxy URL. Your company itself is accessing your application through this proxy IP address and proxy port. If you remove this and give this as local host and 8888, won't work. You'll not be able to record. So what there is another way to record such scenarios. I'll tell you that in later classes, not now. Okay. So just go home and practice this recording today. Okay. Tomorrow I'll tell you how to install this root certificate first of all. And after that, there are several other ways to record your script. So recording your script using HTTPS test script recorder is one way, but you can record your script in several other ways also. I'll explain you that tomorrow. Okay. Fine then. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay.
Thanks.